Audio Jungle.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Amira Najah binti Zainuddin. My number matrix ID is 2019404158. I am from the class EA112 for AB and from group 3.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. A very good day. And my name is Alia Amira binti Shahrin. My number metric is 2019-211722. My class group is EE1124AB and I am in group 3.
And Assalamualaikum. My name is Jus Amir Wafi Rubiden and my matrix number is 2019272046 and I'm from EE112 for AB class and I'm from group 3. I'm from Klang.
Hi guys, Assalamualaikum. I am the last teammate here for group 3. So my name is Muhammad Alfaqar Abdul Halim. My matrix number is 2019-275052 and I'm EE112 for AB and I'm the last teammate for the group 3.
Assalamualaikum. Today, my group will be present about hydropower plant. What it is hydropower plant? Hydropower plant generation is an established technology that uses the potential energy of water to generate electricity. The potential energy of water is used to run turbines and then turbines run generator and produce electricity. Let's continue with the full introduction of hydropower plant. In hydropower plant, the water is utilized to move the turbines which in turn run the electric generators. The second one is the potential energy of the water stored in the dam gets converted into the kinetic energy of the moving water in the penstock. And this kinetic energy gets converted into the electrical energy with the help of turbine and generator, T to the G combination. The third one is hydropower plant was invented by H.F. Rogers. And the fourth, hydropower plant fulfills the 30% of the total energy needs of the world. And the last one is total hydro potential of the world is 5,000 gigawatts. Let's continue with the next presenter.
Hydro or water can make electricity. So the first one is a dam or dam. It erase the water level out of the river to create falling water. Also control the flow of water. The reservoir that is formed is ineffective to store energy. So the second one is turbine. So the force of falling water pushing the turbine blade cause the turbine to spin. A water turbine is much like a windmill, except the energy is provided by falling water instead of wind. The turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy. So the third one is generator, connected to the turbine by shaft and possibly gears. So when the turbine spins, cause the generator to spin also. Convert the mechanical energy from the turbine into electric energy. Generator in hydropower plants work just like generators in other type of power plant. And the last one is transmission line. Is conduct electricity from the hydropower plant to homes and business. So I can conclude is the water from the dam flow to the turbine, make the turbine spin, also with the generator, and the generator will convert the kinetic energy to the electricity. So we move to the video to know more.
Hydropower. Hydropower, or hydroelectricity, refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. It is considered a renewable energy source because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun. One of the first uses of hydro energy was for mechanical milling, such as grinding grains. But today, Modern hydro plants produce electricity using turbines and generators. The mechanical energy created by moving water spins rotors on a turbine. This turbine is connected to an electromagnetic generator which produces electricity when the turbine spins. There are two main types of hydroelectricity production: dams and run-of-river. Hydro dams utilize the potential energy from dammed water to produce electricity. A dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. The elevation created by the dam creates gravitational force for turning the turbine when water is released. Some dams also contain an additional reservoir at their base where water is stored to be pumped to the higher reservoir for release when electricity is in demand. This is referred to as pumped storage hydro. The second form of hydroelectricity production is run-of-river hydro. Run-of-river still uses turbines and generators, but relies on natural water flow rates of rivers, diverting just a portion of the water through turbines. Because run-of-river hydro is subject to natural water variability, it is more intermittent than dammed hydro. There are various sizes of hydro plants that produce electricity. Large hydro, greater than 30 megawatts.
Okay, next we move on to the location of hydro plant in Malaysia. So there are about 10 hydro plants that construct in Malaysia and mostly are located in Perak. And the largest hydro plant produce electricity is at Pegau, Perak, which it produces about 600 WME. And as we can see, why most of the hydro plant are built in the hills, that is because hydro plant is an impounded facility, which means you need to have receiver or the dam. And in a impounded facility, a dam is used to control the flow of water stored in a pool or reservoir. When more energy is needed, water is released from the dam. Once water is released, gravity takes over and the water flows downward through the turbine. As the blade of the turbine spin, they power a generator. We move on to the next person.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you the advantages and the disadvantages of hydro. The first one, hydropower is completely renewable, which means it will never run out unless the water stops flowing. Was built to the last 25 years is still operational after double the amount of time has passes. Second, sustainable. Unlike when the sun goes down or when the wind dies down, water usually has constant and steady flow for 24/7 hours. River water is a domestic resource which, unlike fuel or natural gas, is not subject to market fluctuation. The third one is fight climate changes. The hydroelectric life cycle produces very small amounts of greenhouse and gases. Hydroelectricity improves the air we breathe. The power plants don't release pollutants into the air, and hydroelectric developments don't generate toxic byproducts. And the last advantage is faster developed land. Since hydro dams can only be built in specific location, they can help develop the land for nearby towns and city. This is because it takes a lot of equipment to build a dam. To transport it, highways and roads must be built, which help open new paths for it was created as a result of the Hoover Dam and brought in over 7.5 visitors 7.5 million visitors in 2018. This can give nearby towns a huge boost economically. Let's continue for the disadvantage. The first one is impact on nature habitat. It prevents fish reaching breeding ground. In some cases, hydroelectricity can disrupt wildlife habitat. Hydroelectricity power plants can cause a loss of or modification of fish habitats and lead to the entrapment of fish and restriction of their passage. The second is limited plant location. There are limited places in the world that are suitable for plant construction. On top of this, some of these places are not close to major city that could fully benefit from the energy. Second is the higher initial cost. While no power plant is easy to build, hydro plants do require you to build a dam to stop running. It can lead also to flood risk. When dams are built, At higher elevation, they pose a serious risk to any town nearby that is below it. While these dams are built very strong, they are still risks. The biggest dam failure in history is the Bangkok Dam failure. Due to excess rainfall from a typhoon, the dam collapsed. This resulted in the death of 171,000 people. The last one is carbon and methane emission. While the actual electricity generation generates in the plant does not produce emissions, there are emissions from the reservoir that they created. Plants that are at the bottom of the reservoir begins to decompose, and when plants die, they release large quantities of carbon and methane. Operating a hydroelectric power plant may alter the water temperature and the river flows. These changes may harm native plants and animals in the river and on land.
Thank you.